these shoot team guys. I don't give a fuck about these experts. How good of marksman are you when somebody's shooting at you?
Yeah.
That's when
it counts.
It counts.
Yeah.
You have the presence of mind to put rounds downrange on fucking target, kill another human being when you seeing tracers flying back at your ass.
Well, I guarantee
that's the marksman.
any one of us, if they would have picked us up on the fucking shooting team after discovering our abilities on the rifle range like they do most snipers.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And that's all we did. And that's all we did. We would have been that good and had those fucking crazy badges and shit like that. But that's not what, that's all they get to do.
Look, I didn't give a fuck if you were a double marksman, right? I really
There it
didn't.
is.
I wanted to know if you could fucking goddamn shoot while the enemy's shooting back at you.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Hey, it's amazing how ignorant we are with marksmanship. And I remember I had an opportunity right before I retired. It's like one of my last ranges, right? We're getting a rifle range deck together. Marines get off the bus and there was this really weak ass gunny, and I had a prior enlisted lieutenant OICing the range, and he was a hat.
That could be bad or good.
It's terrible. What happens is I see the weak ass gunny standing over in the corner, and I see this lieutenant trying to act like a staff NCO. He's like, "Hey gunner, I've got the packs sanitized. They're going to go draw their ammo and go shoot." I'm like, "Wait a second.
What does he do?"
Hold on, here we go. I said, "Buddy, they're grown ass men. If I hand them a stripper clip of 10 rounds, they're going to do the right thing with the stripper clip. So if they want to go back to their pack for water, dip, whatever it may be, that's their prerogative. As long as that weapon is pointed in a safe direction." So I can see the smoke rolling out of this guy's ears. And I said, "How do we know we're zeroed?" He goes, I said, "We're going to set them out. We're going to get them on paper. And then we're going to confirm with whether they have an IAR or an M4 what the minute of angle of that gun is. So ideally, a kid does not leave the firing line until, let's say he's got an IAR, it's a 2-inch minute of angle, which is about like that. I want a group like this out of that kid with 4 rounds before I'm like, you're good to take this gun to the rifle range. And moreover, we're going to shoot from our packs without flaks and helmets." He goes, "Well, we've got to zero the weapon to him." I said, "Wait a second. Are we zeroing the weapon? Are we zeroing the weapon to their body, or are we zeroing the scope to the weapon?" And I watched infantry officer. I said, "Well, why are they using the packs?" I said, "Well, half of them don't have bipods on their IARs because they're broken. Half of them don't have the other half don't have IARs because they have M4s. They're going to shoot from the pack. They're going to apply 3 fundamentals: bone support, muscular relaxation, and natural point of aim. We're going to reteach it so that every Marine from this battalion that goes to the range is going to know my gun that I own with my serial number, with my scope, holds this group at 100. So the kid knows, and I tell them this, if you know you've got this at 100, your first yard line is 200. Now I've got a 6-inch group. I'm still shooting a possible. By the time I get to the 300, I'm holding a little bigger than a pie plate. I'm still holding a possible. And if I blow the 500 out of my ass, I'm still an expert rifleman. That's why we do what we do. But we do an amazing job of clouding people's vision with shit that doesn't matter, and creating distrust.
And where did that come from? Where did all this bullshit come from?
Fucking hell.
Who sat there and made that shit up? I mean, I don't know, man.
I think he was a hotel company recruit.
It must have been. But I will tell you, marksman. Of course, you need basic marksmanship principles to fucking employ that weapon. There's no doubt about it. When I point that weapon and it's in my sights, when I pull that trigger, I want it to be in that 2-inch group, just like JC said. No doubt about it. But if you can do that while a motherfucker's shooting back at you, that to me is true marksmanship. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
You've got to build the confidence, and you've got to build the understanding, right? And again, we say this all the time. You're not going to rise to the occasion. You're going to default to your training.
You're right.
And if the Marine has the confidence in their weapon system, they're going to be golden.
Well, that's half the battle.
That's it.
Confident
Well,
in
what
you.
was going on during World War II? Because what did the Germans say about the Marines? Because they're accurate fire from long distance.
Well,
right, yeah.
Well, World War, in Bella Wood, the Marine Corps is an amazing.
Give me another one there, sir.
The Marine Corps is an amazing promotional machine, and Pershing hated Marines.
Right.
But the Marine Corps was great at advertising itself, and they absolutely took advantage of the fact that the Germans called them Tupelhunde. Because the Germans thought that the average American rifle was only good for about 200 or 300 meters.
Yeah.
So they were expecting that they would have to be taken down by, I'm good, brother. They would have to be taken down by mortar fire and machine gun.
They thought they were safe.
They thought they were safe. But a Marine with a 30 caliber rifle applying the same things that we still apply, bone support, muscular relaxation, and natural point of aim. Hey, they applied that, and all of a sudden the Germans are like, these guys shoot, they fight twice as hard and they shoot twice as far.
And the Army wasn't teaching their soldiers.
And it became legend, right? And then we really did it good. So anybody that was left over after we didn't hit them with a rifle, we had a fucking heat shield on a shotgun with a bayonet hooked on the end of it. So, devil dog. Devil dog.
Yeah.
There it is. Teufel Hunden.
Dog, the translation, dogs from hell.
That's right.
JC be scared of him if you saw him outside in the real world.
Look, I'm proud about being a fucking 03. There ain't no doubt about it. But I remember I got where I met this guy. I call it condemned to the Staff and CO Academy. That's the only place my monitor would send me. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to do my best to do everything I can, maximize my opportunity here to make sure that staff and COs and sergeants can go to war and fight. If I can impart any wisdom that's going to help somebody be more lethal and more survival, I'm going to do that.
What year was this?
08 through 10.
So you were a gunny, Millage?
I was a staff sergeant. It was about 09, I believe.
Well, so I'm probably, at that time, I was only there for 20 months.
So this is a career course. You taught.
Well, no, I was teaching sergeant's course first.
Okay.
We had this sergeant, and I'm not going to say his name on the show, but this week, bitch always tries to send me fucking friend requests. And he's got this tough, mean mug picture, and this motherfucker is 2-proof whiskey. Look, he gets this.
2-proof whiskey. That's how strong he is.
In English, in West Virginia, that translates to weak.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, we get there, and I know this dude from the infantry battalion. And I mean, fucking pussy. Soft. We're doing hikes at the academy with day packs. Every time
He'd already been passed over, right?
He'd already been passed over a bunch of times for staff sergeant. And this motherfucker can't keep up on a hike. Now, a hike isn't a graduation requirement at the staff academy.
With a day pack.
With a day pack. But hey, watch this. Hey, for you, sir, a can of man. He's falling out. So at first I tried to be the professional gunnery sergeant.
How'd that work out?
Hey, sergeant, get the hell up there. Hey, sergeant, get the hell up there. How'd
that work out? How'd that work out for you? Yeah, it sure worked out fine.
I did not have the tools in my tool belt to insert a steel rod into this fucking invertebrate and make him a fucking man. Now I'm on a hike. I'm on a hike with this fucking. Hold on now. I'm on a hike with this piece of shit, and I finally fucking had it. Had it. Hey. My culminating statement was, I just hope you fall in the ditch and fucking die because the infantry will be better for it. Here comes the sergeant major who happened to be with us. He's like, Gunny, I first named the sergeant major, who was a grunt and a hog. And I said, do you want him as a fucking platoon sergeant? He goes, Gunny, watch it. I said, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't want him as a fucking, I said, fuck that bitch. Lo and behold, that motherfucker graduated school, PME complete. Picked up staff sergeant like 12 years. Hey, asshole, I know you send me friend requests. I'll never friend you, and I hope you fall in a ditch and fucking die.
Point the camera.
He knows who he is, too.
Obviously, JC has not mastered the art of professionalism. I have never reached that point, a breaking point like he has. Obviously, he obviously doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
If you're a career police sergeant, I am not your fucking friend. I know who you are. If I was an Iraqi woman, watch this.
Hey.
Finished. Hailing from every man's nightmare, JC Knight. Hailing from every woman's dream, Bill Bodette.
Speaking of every woman's dream, I heard tell a story about a fella called the Ravishing Rebel.
Never heard of him.
Are you sure?
Swear to God. And nobody else will.
So that's what happens when you hang out with JC and Quantico with a bunch of Swedes on a Monday night.
No, that's what happens when he's up in Michigan with a big offensive tackle named Kurt Dahlia.
My manager.
His manager and bodyguard, Big Kurt.
Yeah, he's a retired cop now.
No shit.
Yeah, he was my manager when I was there.
What year did this not happen?
Now, look, we're done with this conversation.
I just thought that was funny. It was something I learned about you. I didn't.
All right, I used to shake my ass on stage. I was a male exotic.
Yes!
I was a ravishing rebel. I used to have snakeskin cowboy boots. I had this glittery thong with these feathers hanging from it. And I had a mullet.
Lubed up with a light coat of COP?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but I made all kinds of money.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Was this when you were in college?
Yeah, my freshman year. Yeah.
No shit.
Oh, yeah, Kurt was my manager.
You made good money?
Yep. That was the first song on my soundtrack. Right there. He knows it.
Is that Rubber Band?
Rambling Gambling Man.
Hey, it didn't say.
Wow, that's good.
Here's my favorite part of it. And then I go, "Not afraid to look a girl in the eye." Woo! Buddy, I get it done. I get it done.
Well, you looked at mine.
If I wrote a fucking book about the shit that I have done in my life,
So were you 19 then?
yep, 19 years old, I would, the law would come in here and arrest me right now. And first of all, nobody would believe me. I have done everything from repo cars. I was a fucking male stripper, a fucking Marine infantryman. You fucking name it, I've done it.
He chased a lieutenant naked across Camp Wilson with a headlamp on, and I diffused the situation with a can of Copenhagen and a chicken sandwich and reminded him that it was 04 and we had to be up at 5:30 to get ready to hand out ammo.
I love too much beer in the old beer tent.
Hey, you know what they said? You know what they said? They said, "Hey, Chris," they said, "Hey, we need you to go get him." Like, why the fuck you need me to go
Go
get him?
get the Gunny.
They said, well, I said, why the fuck do I got to go get
They
him?
knew we were friends, you know.
They said, Gunny won't try to fight you. What the fuck you mean I got
So
to
they sent JC to come get you?
Yeah, the Marines did.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Marines said, "Hey,
Yeah, it's like,
you
it's
got
like 4 o'clock in the
you
morning.
and the Gunny
They're
are tight.
Hey, Chris,
You go get the Gunny."
they're like,
because the Marines were scared that I was going to fight
They're
them.
like, "Hey, Staff Sergeant." I'm like, "What the fuck you want, man?" I look, I'm like, "Dude, it's fucking 3:45 in the morning." They're like, "You gotta go get Gunny." I'm like, "Why the fuck I gotta go get Gunny?" Like, "He won't fight you." So I look out into the desert, like where that house is over on that knoll,
Yeah.
with my fucking flip-flops on, and I've got an old from the Camp Wilson PX. I had a leftover chicken sandwich, and I looked over, and I could see shimmering in the moonlight a can of Copenhagen. I grab it, and I start walking across the desert.
That's all you need.
Here goes Bill Bodette.
Naked.
Boom! He's like, "Fuck you want, JC? I got Copenhagen and a sandwich. We got to hand out ammo in an hour and a half." All right. And there we go, just walking back through the desert. He ain't got a stitch of clothing on, but he's got a headlamp
I
on.
don't remember. I was gunnery sergeant. Talking about setting the example.
Heard scuttlebutt.
Oh, whoa! Yeah.
Oh, the old captain brings
He
out
hit him
the
with the
old
scuttlebutt.
captain.
He hit him.
You can't call him young captain. The old captain brings out the old scuttlebutt.
Yeah. Well, one of my CEOs used to call me old man, even when I talked to him today, and he's way older than I am. But anyway, so the scuttlebutt is that Marines off duty on base can now that have the appropriate paperwork and can still carry.
Oh,
That's
this
right.
is a great question.
Okay.
So recently it's been brought to our attention that the SecDef has authorized Marines to carry on base. And this brings up a lot of emotions. And
Right.
I'll kick this one off.
Yeah.
I believe if you're 18 or 19 years old and you go fight for your country, you can drink a beer. I also believe you should be allowed to carry a firearm. Now, there's going to be byproducts of this. One, Marines are going to be more comfortable carrying a firearm, and it's probably going to create maybe more of a sense of responsibility to handle a firearm. Because if people are going to get hurt with weapons, it ain't going to be with a rifle. It's always a fucking pistol.
Always.
So I'm down with them carrying pistols, but you have to ask yourself, how many senior enlisteds and commanders are going to fumble this and make this a fucking joke and fuck it up, even though the SecDef has went ahead and put out a policy that he's going to allow them to carry. But I also have to question, with the culture being the way that it is, are we willing to accept that there are going to be some,
I'm
there's
worried.
going to be some scars with this, but I think it's for the greater good.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is a Marine out in town with his mentality getting pissed off and having that capability right then and there. But that is the only thing that I would worry about, because I know for a fact that there's times in my life, thank God I didn't have a pistol.
Right.
So, either here nor there, I mean, they should be able to do it. A bottom line. No matter what you feel about it, they should be able to do it.
As a young grunt with firearms and living in the barracks, I had to keep my, I believe I had a Remington 1100 20 gauge. And
I had to put mine in the armory.
you had to put them in the armory. And you had to get the battalion commander's signature to
Right.
pull them from the armory. And the reason I didn't like that is because I knew the armorers were fucking with my weapon.
Yeah, right.
Because they're armorers, so
Right,
they like weapons,
right.
right? But can you imagine the three of us having lived in infantry barracks before, and the shit that we
Imagine the
did,
parties and the drinking.
and the fights? I mean, we were beating each other's with fire extinguishers, with you name it.
Well, this is my thought from it. So I got a whole different take than what y'all are coming from. Well, what JC said, I'm kind of more on board with that. I understand the safety issues that y'all are talking about. But so let's talk about like the Fort Hood shootings and things like that.
Pensacola.
Right. Hey,
Pensacola.
So I mean, truly, if we had a base attack CONUS, I mean, how long does it really? So the front gate, bing, bang, boom, they got whatever sidearm they're carrying right now.
You know,
They're gonna be able to push
They're-
that through. Go ahead.
I agree with you 100%. There needs to be some sort of guideline, no set. For example, if there's beer and alcohol involved, you're not allowed to carry.
You can't.
So for example, right. But if you're in the barracks,
Most states.
right. If you go into a bar, you're not allowed to carry it. There's all kinds of stuff. But if you have one beer, you need to put that pistol up.
Amen.
Hey, listen.
I do that now. Like I carry every day. I know if I'm going into a bar, my fucking pistol or wherever the fuck I'm going stays in the truck.
I will not.
Because I just know that it's a recipe for
I don't
disaster.
touch and handle firearms and ammunition when I'm drinking.
Nowadays I know that. But when I was a fucking Lance Corporal, give me my pistol and a bottle of Jack Daniels, motherfucker.
There are a lot of based on.
But then again, I ain't like regular people.
So when I was stationed at Pensacola, the new commanding officer came in. He was an 06 Navy captain, and the Navy is extremely adverse to firearms.
Yes.
Right. That's the reason. Generally, the only people in the Navy that are proficient with firearms handling are masters at arms, MAs.
But what about that admiral with that rifle with the optic turned backwards?
That's exactly my
Yeah.
point. So when the new CO came on board, I was at the headquarters staff for the Center for Naval Aviation Technical Training in Pensacola. They had a building there called the Mega Building. The reason it's called the Mega Building is it's the largest building in Northwest Florida. Guess what they don't have at every entrance? An armed sentry.
Really?
They have students on
I think the staff duty and the staff officer should be armed.
So
They should be.
when the
right?
new, well, here you go. So when the new commanding officer checks in, he has all his staff together and asks for recommendations on how to make it more safe. And I put my little Dick Skinner in the air, and I was an LDO captain at the time. I said, "Sir, we need to have an armed staff duty officer." And you would have thought
Right.
that I had a dick growing out of my forehead. And I said, whoa, wait, hear me out. Not the students. It needs to be a first class petty officer or a staff sergeant or a chief or a gunnery sergeant should be armed.
It's part of the changeover. It's part of everything.
And he said, well, how would you do that? I said,
Easy.
sir, it's very simple. In the Marine Corps, every battalion OOD, squadron OOD has a firearm. And you have a clearing barrel at the OOD desk. You have 30 or...
I think at the battalion level we should have.
It is. Now, every battalion...
Oh, is it now?
Yes.
It should be.
Yes, when I was a
Wow.
chief warrant officer...
We just had a goddamn duty belt.
No,
Yeah.
now
Ever
the
since I was
battalion...
OOD carries a gun.
carrying a weapon.
Oh, that's good shit. Okay, I didn't know
the
that.
staff duty officer has a clearing barrel. He has a 9
Oh,
millimeter, and he's got 30 rounds. And everyone annually has to do the deadly force, recertification and all that. I said, sir, it's easy.
Oh, that's good shit.
They thought that I was crazy.
Yeah.
Guess what happened 2 years later?
There's a shooting.
A Kuwaiti fucking flight student
That's right. I seen that on the news.
killed 2.
That's right.
And all they had to...
Was that the base that you were talking about?
Pensacola. And all they had to defend themselves was a government issued ballpoint pen and a fucking green logbook. And another thing I mentioned to him, because one of the civilian employees, her husband was a federal fireman. And so I was talking to him about the response times, because I was trying to get, before I said, I think we should arm, first class petty officers, staff duties, staff sergeants, gunnery sergeants, and chiefs. I did the research, and one of the things I learned was the 911 system for NAS Pensacola is truncated, which means when you dial 911 on base at NAS Pensacola, it goes to the Escambia County Sheriff's Department. The Escambia County Sheriff's Department 911 dispatcher then has to call the federal fire department on base.
You're red selling this bad issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so do you know when that Kuwaiti, now he was able to legally purchase that pistol in Pensacola, Florida, and there was a prohibition against students having them in the BOQs. But he's an international student, so
So he didn't fall under the rules and regulations?
he didn't follow the fucking regulations. So when that son of a bitch, that Kuwaiti, shot and killed I think it was a flight student officer, an ensign, and then he killed an aircrew candidate student. This was at NATSE, Naval Aviation. Anyway, it fell under my CO's command. When he shot them, on-base security police weren't the first to respond. It was the Escambia County Sheriff's Department.
Because
So
they got the word.
They got the word first, and they blew through the front gate and went right to schools command, aviation schools command is what it was called.
Yeah.
And they were the first to respond. So had that officer
Been armed,
he could have defended himself.
Look no further than the predatory mindset of sick, evil people. Make no mistake about it, these are evil people. It's a church, it's a daycare, it's a school, it's a place where they know that people cannot.
Well, they're not
protect
going to go
themselves.
attack a fucking goddamn infantry
Right.
battalion on a rifle range.
So the point is, you need to.
They look for soft targets.
You've got to set the condition where every time evil pops its head up, you're able to be there to confront it. Now, you can't confront it right there, but maybe me and Chris catch one. But you know what? Because Millage had a gun, Bo and Seabass make it out of there.
Yeah.
It's got to count for something, man.
Well,
And you've got to leave evil guessing.
For the Marine that lives in the barracks, you have to store your personal firearm in the armory. And instead of the battalion commander signing off on you being able to draw it from the armory, the staff duty officer is able to sign off on you being able to draw the weapon from the armory.
Well, I think that may be overkill too. If I have a pistol, let's say I'm Corporal Bodette, and I want to have a pistol, maybe it's something like, if you want to have a pistol, that's great. You want it in the barracks, that's great, but it's got to be put in a lockbox.
Yeah, and you want to make it even.
Maybe in your room, but it's got to be in a lockbox. Because it's another step till you have to get to it before you do something stupid. Maybe something like that. Because I don't want to put my shit in a fucking armory.
Just two things, and I think.
So, but I don't know. It's a hell of a question because, but bottom line, they should be able to do it. I think.
Well, because I was not married as a staff NCO and I did not get awarded BAH, I had staff barracks. I could keep my personal weapons in there. Second thing is, I believe if I'm in uniform, especially as an NCO, staff NCO, or officer, I should be able to carry a firearm with me, not because, for any other reason than to protect my unit, because Chris and myself, we didn't have the same kind of lifestyle that y'all had day to day. We may be working in the office, but those are where those active shooter situations occur. It could occur out there on the range with y'all, but everyone's armed.
Right. But there's got to be like a no tolerance bullshit on this. If you catch fucking jackass out there doing the cowboy shit,
Revoked.
You're done.
Drunker than Otis on Andy Griffith.
You're done. Make it an office hours offense.
Just like you would.
If you're being a jackass, and hold them accountable. That ain't a fucking toy. Something like that. There needs to be fucking shit, to where the only reason they clear that leather, is when they're putting it up or when they have to kill a bad guy. No, once again,
Look no further than the fucking UK. That's it. There's my answer.
Look at the first thing Nazi Germany did is disarm their people.
It's something that
First thing they did.
I would be willing to die over that.
Yeah. You know, if you want to take all the guns away from us, you know, again, those are the people that suck dick with their butthole.
So, just like the flag of Gonzales in Texas, come and fucking take it.
That's it.
Because I'm going to give it to you both barrels.
I will guarantee you that most of the people that are going to be against this will be the senior staff and COs. Okay?
Oh,
They'll be like, oh, no, we can't trust them, do they? No, sir, this will do. No. And listen, and they're going to say, they're going to bullshit these people and claim it's experience with their fucking 3 B billets that they did. You know?
I'm with Bo on that.
They're B-billet commandos, you know, that never really stepped foot on the battlefield. Oh, well, yes, I did. I was in Iraq. Yeah, you had a chow hall with a spaghetti bar in it, motherfucker. You weren't you didn't fucking do shit, okay? Were you ever attacked? No. Did you ever fire around in anger? No. Then don't try to tell me anything about your experience when it comes...
These will be the same fucking senior enlisteds.
It'll be the senior enlisted. I guarantee fucking it. And the officers will listen to them. They'll listen to some jackass sergeant major that's been in a drill field for fucking 3 times. You know, that's never been in the fleet, never even died.
I can keep them off the grass. The Marine's got a tight left shoulder arms. And you know what? It'll be the same senior enlisted that does this. Watch this. These cocksuckers right here. The captain's done talking for the day. The first sergeant gets, let me caveat what the CO said. You unoriginal fuck.
Or piggyback.
Piggyback or caveat?
Piggyback.
It's like the CO done said what he got to say. Shut the fuck up and leave the boys alone. Caveat.
Sound Liberty call.
Piggyback.
Right. Boy, I used to get hot with that.
You're the senior enlisted. We pay you to have an original thought. Can you not follow the 8-year captain, or the 28-year captain in your case, the 8-year captain, and just have your own thought?
Well,
you know,
First Sergeant Harnish, I think he was my first sergeant in Force Lima 3-3 America's Battalion, by God. When he said sound Liberty call, if the platoon sergeant didn't immediately release, he would jump knee deep into some staff.
As it should be.
You know what I did?
Hey, Staff Sergeant, I said sound goddamn Liberty call. There is no more discussion. Kick them the fuck out of here. They're on Liberty.
Usually at the end of the day, yes, JC, I would have sounded Liberty call without the first sergeant. You remember that? And the first thing I would do, pass a very little bit of word, because I already knew that I had already passed it to the platoon sergeants. Did I not? And I'd say, platoon sergeants, you got them. And that was it. Now, if Marines were fucking with them after hours, I'd get pissed. But platoon sergeants, you got them. That's your platoon. I ain't fucking with you. That's your platoon.
What I think, especially that's scary with this peacetime Marine Corps that we're in now. Something goes bad on the planet. It doesn't matter what level of training you're at. It doesn't matter what the culture is in that unit. You're fucking going. You've got to make sure that at all times, no matter what's going on, you treat them like fucking men. Because they're going you're going to call on them to go do man shit.
You remember I said this 1,000 times. God damn it, you treat them like fucking men and Marines, they're going to act like men and Marines.
Amen.
You treat them like fucking children, they're going to act like it. And the ones that act like fucking children, after you treat them like men and give them that fucking goddamn, you give them that fucking leeway to do their shit. If they don't, then you hold their feet to the fucking fire. Easy. It ain't rocket science. You know, they fuck up.
It's amazing how we how as a service we fuck that up.
Oh yeah.
Usually it's peacetime military. I ain't gonna lie to you, senior staff and COs.
What were they doing?
No doubt about it.
Just to piggyback off what the CO said, man, shut the fuck up.
Right, like you fucking there's a piggy. Well, what the CO was saying. Shut the fuck up, First Sergeant. Shut the fuck up, Gunny. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, and so me growing up as a young Marine, I guess I drank the Kool-Aid a lot of times, and so I was.
No.
I did. You know, so I was.
We're all guilty of having a shot or two of that. I don't care who you are.
But I would read, per my rank, what books I should read is what they deem so, and I would read them, and never was it what I was actually experiencing at all. Talking about being coddled or, not being treated like a man. In those books I was reading, people were being treated like men. They were showing initiative, and they were being congratulated upon it. Apparently, I thought that I was supposed to be reading these books to learn how to be, to emulate those characters in those books.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
so it's kind of like a catch-22. I feel like sometimes,
I think we've tried so hard to be zero defect and create this this empty shell of a persona, right? And it's guys that haven't been and really dealt with a lot of adversity outside of their fucking B-billet, right? Or knowing what the Marines are dealing with. You know, it's funny, you know, like I look at all of our recent boot camp pictures and all the pictures of when we, obviously you're a DI, you got to look like a fucking asshole. But you look to dudes in a float book or a boot camp picture from the 40s, that cat has his cover cocked and he's smiling. He stormed Iwo Jima and ran a fucking bayonet through a dude's face. That dude's a killer, and he did it with a smile.
I tell you what ruined me.
His hat at the jaunty tilt.
Look, I tell you what ruined me as the staff NCO, according to a lot of these fucking punk-ass staff NCOs, was being in no shit combat with young Marines and platoon sergeants that were no shit platoon sergeants, officers that were no shit officers. We went out, we hunted human beings, we killed them, okay? And we did, and we defended our positions. You know, we did what we were supposed to do. And then when I got back home, I ran into these staff NCOs that wasn't their priority. Their priority was motorcycle safety and saying, aye, aye, sir, you know, and all this bullshit, which a lot of that, it's important. But after seeing what these amazing 18 and 19-year-olds are capable of and what they do, all the other bullshit I didn't give a fuck about, okay? And that fucked me up because I didn't really give a shit. Hey, you know, first unit I checked into as a first sergeant, they wanted me to go inspect the staff sergeant's car for a 96.
That was fucking gay.
Get the fuck out of here. You know what I've seen staff sergeants do, motherfucker? You know what I've seen Lance Corporals do? And you want me to go inspect his vehicle? And then the kicker was, the CO says, well, I'm going to inspect your truck first, Sergeant. Yeah, that's going to happen. Not in this life or the next. Tell him, JC.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you, you take a Marine with the kinds of staff NCOs and all junior officers, because they'll listen to that staff NCO, is you waste their time Monday through Thursday. Friday, all of a sudden, something has to get signed or done from the company office. Now it's 17:30, and you want to know why Corporal Harden ran his motorcycle into a telephone pole on 17th South, going to Wilmington, heading down to UNCW to get him a little strange.
A little action.
Little action.
Little action.
Why was he going 80 miles an hour and ran into a telephone pole? Because you fucking wasted. Because you wasted his time Monday through Thursday, and by the time you let him go Friday, they're like the old Evil Knievel motorcycle with the ripcord. Zing!
I was a gunnery sergeant when we got let off early one time. I'm not going to say who, but we got let off early. And a couple Marines, I guess, got in trouble, got in a bar fight or something. And this other gunnery sergeant said, see, that's what happens when you let Marines off early.
Fuck that guy.
And I thought, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, I want to get off early too, motherfucker. You know, we all do. If we're not training to kill people or killing people, let the boys go.
I bet you that fellow might not suck a dick, but he'd hold it in his mouth.
Buddy, look.
You know,
But
sometimes
I see a staff NCO really said that. We can't let them off early because they'll just go get in trouble. See, them are the kind of people that are going to be with the gun situation.
There you go.
Hey, and here's another thing you can do on the weekend. You want to know something else you can do to lead your Marines? Leave them the fuck alone.
Absolutely.
Leave them the fuck alone.
What is that bullshit going to visit them in the barracks all the time?
Oh.
I don't think they like that.
There's a time for
The
that.
Marines don't want you. I don't want nobody in my house. I don't want. You think I live in my house off base or whatever? I want a motherfucker come pay me a visit, check on my shit.
Here's a level. And look, I think I can speak specifically to me and him, and Bo talked about it earlier. Is going to war with these guys, right? Junior Marines can see you and they can hear you, but can they feel you? Now, I could drop in the barracks on a Saturday and like, cool, my platoon sergeant's here. The next week, we're deployed to Afghanistan, take that fucking bunker. And they're not going to fucking argue with me. They're not going to bat it out. They're going to go take the bunker. As a matter of fact, they're already looking for the fucking second one because you learn to feel and understand your guys.
You could tell, Marines could tell when you like show up at the barracks, if you're there because you're generally concerned about them and you want to be there. Or if you're just made to be there, because the CO said, you guys got to stop by the barracks and fucking check on your Marines. Fuck you. Fuck you. Them Marines are fucking fine. If they're not, then so fucking be it. They'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. But You know, I'm a big advocate, believe it or not, of staffing shows every once in a while just showing up. At the barracks, not to catch them doing anything.
Right.
To teach them how not to get caught. I used to love going to the barracks when I was on.
Even an officer.
So in our squadron, in our squadrons, they had a policy. The maintenance officers, avionics, and the maintenance material control officer, we would stand duty on the weekends. And here's why: because the pilot officers would have to stand operational duty officer during the week when aircraft are flying. And that's because you have to have a pilot on the desk to be able to talk to an aircraft if they have an emergency.
Right.
They go through procedures and shit like that. It's a requirement. You have to have a pilot that's an ODO, right? And so when I would go to the barracks, I would take it as an opportunity to teach them how not to get in trouble. And it was always, as soon as I got into the parking lot, I would listen. And I would listen for a vehicle in the parking lot playing loud music. And I would immediately go to that vehicle, because there'd be about 10 Marines standing around listening to music.
You don't think
in
you're
the parking lot.
You don't think you're drawing attention to yourself?
That's what I said. I said, gentlemen, turn are the keys in the ignition? I knew the answer to the question. Yes, sir. Turn it off so I can talk to you for a minute. And you know they've got the red Solo cup, and then like the kids. No. Come here, gather around. I'm going to teach you.
There's nothing here, sir.
Yeah. And so they turn the keys off, and they all gather around. They're like, "Oh, this motherfucker." I'm like, "No, listen. Whose vehicle is it?" "It's mine, sir." "Okay. So you're just out here in the parking lot listening to music, winding down, having a good time. You're not trying to offend your neighbors that have the paper-thin walls in the barracks. You're just out here in the parking lot having some drinks, listening to music in your car." I said, "You know what happened if PMO would roll up on you? Having been a PMO FAP for 11 months.
Right.
The old FAP, Fleet Assistance Program.
Fleet Assistance Program, where the overmanned MOSs support the undermanned MOSs. I said, look, here's the deal. You have the keys in the ignition.
And there's alcohol.
And there's alcohol. Do you know what would happen?" "No, sir."
I'm going to get a DUI.
"You get a DUI." "Well, sir, we're not driving."
It doesn't matter.
I said, "Aha." The keys are in the ignition. You're standing right here. I said, there's intent to drive.
Ooh, you broke out the intent.
You know,
When I know what you're doing is you're just listening to music. So if you guys want to do this shit, don't do it like this. Do it another way.
and Marines know if you're there to catch them doing something and being a dick, or if you're there just because you care. They know the difference.
Yeah.
You know, I say this.
You know, they could tell, like what you did. I mean, come on.
I wouldn't have made it this far if I didn't have good Marines ahead of me taking care of me.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh, hey, buddy.
Me too. I wonder who that might have been.
Hey, yeah.
This is the part that I struggle with senior enlisteds, and it's part of the reason that I went the fucking gunner route, because I was tired of people being in the way for helping Marines. I know that sounds crazy, but
Yeah.
if you've been in for 15 plus years,
Look, tell that story. Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt. Well, no, I'm not. Tell that story about how that kid had fucked up paperwork and shit, and you wrote a letter and got it fixed and got him promoted as a battalion gunner. And his fucking senior staff, his first sergeant, that was his job to do that type of shit. But you did it as a battalion gunner, which is so far outside of your job, it ain't even funny. It was that first sergeant, that platoon sergeant's job to bring that up to the company gunner, to the first sergeant, fix that shit if he was good shit.
Yeah.
But no. But you fixed it as a gunner.
yeah,
Let me get a beer. Tell that story.
every old leader, or every leader period, should be an open door. Marines or whoever you're leading should feel welcome. You know, comes up to my office, "Hey, I got passed. I'm trying to get promoted." I said, "Well, let me see your master brief sheet. Do you have any personal awards?" "No, you go to CERTCOM." I said, "Cool, let me pull it up." Pull up his CERTCOM, and it's all this amazing stuff he did in combat, and all that he got was a CERTCOM. So went, looked at a fit rep, helped him get a fit rep pulled, talked about the CERTCOM, did all this. Lo and behold, the guy ends up getting promoted, which is fucking awesome, right? We're there to help Marines, and I think, and it's interesting with the three of us, we're all from the warrant officer field, and it all starts with technical proficiency. This is where I think I look at the Marine Corps as a cult and an institution. Let's just call our ways our Bible. It's easy to look at something and interpret it literally. I think there's more for what we do when it comes to leading people because we are a people business. There's more to be said for the art than the science. So if somebody always goes to the science, they're going to deal in absolutes and they see in black and white. If I know what I'm doing, if I know my trade, that gives me the ability to be myself. If I can be myself, right? The truest form of myself during times of stress, I've got to get the bird up. I've got to get this mobile chow hall set up. I got to get that artillery position set up. I've got to go out and do a raid on this fucking enemy stronghold. If you know your trade, you get to be you. It gives you the gift of being approachable from the audience. It allows people to come to you, hey, Master Sergeant, Major, Gunner, Colonel, Captain, I need help. A lot of Marines are afraid to do that, and they'll go a whole length of service to retirement. I'd call it a profession. Many of them would call it their career. They're sitting at home right now alone. They have a shadow box on the wall, and that is all they have left from the Marine Corps. Because you know what? They did not know how to apply the art. They didn't know how to apply the art.
I agree. And just like dogs and bees can sense fear, Marines can sense when you're not being yourself, and when you are being phony.
So
always be yourself.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, it's a hard cycle to break. Coming fresh off the drill field, yes, covering alignment. Right. That you did it for 3 years,
Yeah.
but and I like it. I always tell the story about going on post. Right. Okay, we're all getting older. We all got to piss in the middle of the night because we drink fucking 20 gallons of water during the day. Well, if the piss tubes are 50 feet from post 1 and you're walking by the only cooler in the camp and you can grab a fruit punch Gatorade because all the H&S kids took all the Gatorade, all the lemon, lime, and orange, right? Fuck you guys, right? You grab that Marine a cold fruit punch Gatorade.
Yeah.
You grab them a snack, and then you take your piss and you walk on the post. Hey, when was the last time somebody lubed that machine gun? When was the last time somebody checked the batteries on that Nods? And then what do you weave in? Hey, how's everything going back home?
Well, that's
Did you hear about? And what you did was you went and you supervised and you checked that position.
Well,
And that kid, and you walked away from that, and you know what that kid did? He went back to the post, like, yeah, he goes and tells his squad leader, hey, the platoon sergeant was on my post at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, what did he say? Well, he checked my batteries, gave me a Gatorade, he talked to me a little about what was going on at home, and then he walked off.